Hello everybody, welcome back to another Admiral Fox video. 2 in 1 day, wow. Anyway, this is going to be a bit different from my normal videos, because this is a tips and tricks video. This is how to win World of Warships battles from Admiral Fox. So, without further ado, let's get into it. These are all tips for Blitz, by the way. Number 1, know yourself and know your playstyle. If you know your playstyle, then you'll choose ships based on your playstyle. And when you choose ships based on your playstyle, you're going to have a good time. For example, if you're like me, and in battleships you desire very good AA defenses, good secondary battery, tankiness, and... what's the last thing I look for? Yeah, armor, tankiness, basically everything. So, if you're like that, you're probably gonna like ships like Key, German battleship line, French battleship line, ships that fit your playstyle. And if you choose ships that fit your playstyle, you're going to have better games since you're more willing to play your ships. And you're going to have a better time in your ships. Number 2, know the ship that you're playing. Knowing the ship that you're playing will prevent you from doing stupid things. Like an Eindracht, you don't want to go YOLOing into a cap that has 2 battleships in it. I'm playing Eindracht, by the way. So, that is a very good thing to do, because if you know the playstyle of your ships, then you know how to win battles in them. And if you know how to win battles in your ships, the first thing to being able to do something is knowing how to do something. Because if you know how to do something, you're going to be better at it. Number 3 is survey the map. For example, if you're playing a map like this on Golden Channel, you're probably going to want to pick a flank, because you'll get the most damage output on flanks in Golden Channel. And also, if you survey the map, you'll know the positioning of the enemy ships, so you'll know where to go if you want results that will get you a lot of damage. And you also know which flanks to avoid, so that you won't be in over your head. And another one is make good use of your consumables. Like I just did, I popped an AA defense alert right as the planes were coming at me. That's the best time to pop an AA defense alert. As well as knowing when to use your damage control and repair kits. That's a useful skill as well. Because when you know how to use your damage control and repair kits, you're not going to waste consumables. Because you have limited damage control and repair kits, and they're valuable. You can't waste them. Another thing is, pick engagements based on not only like your skill level and your ability to deal with those things, but also how the battle's currently going. As you can see, I got torpedoed to death there, so I probably didn't do an amazing job of choosing my engagement there. I did land an airstrike on that Eric Lowenhart, and I allowed that Francesco Caracciolo to kill the Leander. And now he's gonna kill the Eric Lowenhart. Another thing is if you have the patience to grind multiple lines, that's really good. But if you know that you don't, try to pick and choose which lines you think would be the best for you to grind. Like, if you're someone who really likes HE spammers, ships that have quick reloading guns and really good fire, but you still want to play battleship, you're probably going to want to play the British battleships. You're not going to want to play the Russian cruisers if you like high-tier HE spammers. And the game will reward you for picking and choosing your engagements and your ships and everything else. Because it is a valuable skill. So this Francesco Caracciolo's doing. Also, I kind of didn't really do a super good job of this in this game, but pay attention to your HP counter. This is especially important in Blitz. Not really because you're less likely to take like a stupid engagement if you paid attention to your HP counter. That Francesco Caracciolo obviously didn't before attempting to ram that Colorado. Especially since in Blitz, there's no detonation, there's no ramming attacks, and there's no friendly fire. So that actually makes it easier to keep track of your HP. That was actually a better aim-locked video than I had in my... That was actually a better aim-locked game than I had in my aim-locked video. And then this one is outside of battles. If you claim your rewards and spend them well, you won't be wasting resources. So you'll have a good idea of what to do. Because if you waste resources like silver or free XP or gold, you're going to be disappointed because those are valuable. You want those. I mentioned picking a line that's right for you. Another thing is, if you realize partway through a line that you don't want to play the line anymore, or you're getting bored, or you feel like it's not for you, you can stop. You don't have to keep grinding through all the way through the line just for the fun of it. Speaking of that, and like I said, it's very important, like I said then, so that you can avoid stopping midway through a line, it's important to pay attention to what lines you think are best for you. Also, pick and choose your commander skills carefully. That's another one. Pick and choose your commander skills carefully. Currently, I'm running a destroyer build. So, Underwater Protection Expert doesn't really do anything on destroyer builds, and you don't have aircraft on destroyers, so you don't need aerobic maneuver. So Emergency Response, which gets you better steering gear and power system repair time, will be the best one that you can do. And since the Armament Repair Expert wouldn't really do much because you're not really seeing your modules getting taken out too much on destroyers, especially since you don't have secondaries on destroyers, and because battlefield support only, it's not super valuable on the European destroyers, I've gone for Torpedo Alert, which will also help you, and then I've gone for a speed buff preheating, which High Alert only gives you minus 10% damage control kit cooldown time, but you don't really need that because if you're damage controlling in a destroyer, you're not going to be damage controlling in destroyers as often as you are battleships or anything. And European destroyers definitely aren't artillery-focused destroyers. Maybe they are. Actually, yeah, they are. So, I've gone with preheating instead of expert artillery maintenance or high alert. And then next I'm going to go with victorious charge. So paying attention to your commander skills will definitely be very good. And always remember to equip a commander as well, because if you forget, it's not going to be very pleasant. Also, because of the resources thing I mentioned, I usually don't put equipment on my ships unless I'm going to be keeping that ship for a while. Because putting equipment on your ships costs silver, and it costs a lot of silver, especially at high tier. So if you're only going to be owning a ship for a little bit, don't put a ton of equipment on it. And choose your equipment carefully as well, because choosing the wrong equipment can mean the difference between winning a battle and losing a battle. Anyway, that's really all I have for this. if you follow those tips, you should get fairly good games in World of Warships Blitz. And there probably are some more tips. I've played the game for a year and a half, so I'm fairly experienced, but I often find myself forgetting to adhere to these tips and tricks, and the game punishes me for it. So, nobody's perfect, but these little tips and tricks can make you a little bit better. Anyway, that's all I've got for you guys. Take care.